This is a video summarizing One Piece, the battle at Marineford. The movie title and episode numbers are in the description for anyone interested. Continuing from the previous season, if you haven't seen it, you can click the suggested video in the top right corner of the screen or check it out on my channel. Since I'll be covering Luffy's entire journey through the Marineford arc very soon, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Ace, getting all choked up, told Whitebeard not to talk like that. He said it was his fault for ignoring their warnings, and that's why things turned out this way. But Whitebeard, being Whitebeard, once again insisted that he was the one who sent Ace off, which just made Ace even more emotional. Whitebeard asked Marco if that was true, and he immediately confirmed it. Marco then, with a threatening tone, announced that everyone in this world knows what happens when you mess with a Whitebeard pirate. Everyone on the ship was totally on board with that. They told Ace to just wait a bit. They'd definitely rescue him, which made Ace super touched. The three admirals figured, well, this looks like a tough cookie to crack. Doflamingo and Gecko Moria, on the other hand, were positively thrilled at the prospect of fighting the Whitebeard pirates. Hancock, ever the queen, muttered under her breath, they're all disgusting pirates. Though she loves her Luffy, who's also a pirate. Hancock silently declared that he's a special case. Just as the atmosphere was getting super tense, a random marine soldier suddenly noticed something odd. He wondered why the sea level had dropped so dramatically. Meanwhile, Luffy's group's ship was unexpectedly blasted backward by a strange, super strong wind for no clear reason. Buggy even ended up splattered against a wall. Luffy said that even though he really wanted to go forward, if they kept going like this, they'd just keep getting pushed further and further away. Jinbei seemed to realize something. After a while, the ship finally stopped. They all wondered what the heck just happened. Luffy urged Jinbei to hurry up, saying he was worried they'd be late at this rate. But then a serious problem popped up. The sea surface was suddenly completely windless. Even so, Jinbei still confidently told Luffy they'd definitely make it in time, which reassured Luffy. But Buggy, of course, just scoffed at Jinbei's optimistic thinking. He lay miserably in a corner, making the prisoners who worshipped Buggy feel disappointed in him. Then, one of them suddenly asked, don't they realize? This is the absolute confidence of the future Pirate King. Mr. 3 was left speechless by the fanaticism of this crowd. While Buggy was drooling in his sleep, the ship suddenly started moving forward, surprising everyone. Luffy wondered if Jinbei had done something, but he denied it. The ship moved faster and faster, causing Buggy to smash his face into the railing and wake up with a jolt. Buggy was totally confused about what the hell was going on when his subordinates suddenly asked, did Buggy do that? Even the holy man was dazed, but he eventually just took credit for it anyway. Luffy happily exclaimed, even though I don't know who did this, it'll help me make it in time for Ace's execution. Then, unexpectedly, a giant shadow appeared behind them, threatening to swallow them all, making everyone panic. At Marineford, even though neither side had made a move yet, the atmosphere was still incredibly tense. The marine soldiers wondered why the Whitebeard pirates and their allies weren't making a move. When the observation marine suddenly screamed, apparently having seen something, the ground also violently shook. The observation marine shouted a gigantic tsunami is heading this way at extreme speed. Everyone was stunned. Garp explained that's Whitebeard's power. The power created by the Gura Gura no Mi, which roughly translates to the quake fruit. It allows him to create terrifying earthquakes that lead to tsunamis, causing everyone to freak out. Sengoku also frankly admitted that they shouldn't think they'd definitely win this battle just because they had overwhelming numbers, because the man standing before them possessed the power to destroy the entire world. At Sabaody, everyone was still holding their breath, watching the battle unfold. They said, looks like the battle has begun. A quick recap of the forces on both sides. The attacking side included 47 pirate ships from the New World under Whitebeard's leadership. Meanwhile, the defending side was no less formidable, consisting of the strongest forces of the Marines, including 3 admirals and the 7 warlords of the sea under the leadership of Fleet Admiral Sengoku. Whoever won this battle would rewrite world history. Back to the battle. Tidal waves hundreds of meters high seemed ready to swallow Marineford whole, terrifying everyone. Doflamingo commented Whitebeard really is a legendary monster. In that critical moment, Admiral Aokiji appeared just in time, using his Ice Age ability to freeze the 2 colossal waves in an instant. After that, he even used Partisan to attack Whitebeard, but it was easily neutralized by Whitebeard's Gura Gura power. Even so, Aokiji managed to freeze the entire Crescent Bay in a flash, making Whitebeard's ship and the other pirate crews unable to move. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the Marines continuously fired cannons at the Moby Dick, but the commanders immediately counterattacked by leading their entire forces forward, creating a chaotic battle right in the middle of Crescent Bay. Tashigi was about to target the commander of Whitebeard's 5th Division, Flower Sword Vista, when a pirate attacked her from behind. Luckily, Smoker helped her take care of him. He told Tashigi to be careful because not only the commanders but all these pirates were extremely strong. She immediately complied, taking advantage of the frozen sea. Some pirate crews targeted the immobile marine ships and opened fire. But things weren't that simple as the vice admirals protected those ships just in time. They remarked it's rare to see so many vice admirals gathered in one place like this. Suru, a veteran marine, was about to join the fight when some younger marines told her, why don't you go inside and rest with some tea? Which infuriated Suru. Captain Squar of the Spinning Spider Pirates declared, my entire crew and I are ready to sacrifice ourselves for Whitebeard. Squar then ordered them to charge, determined to fight to the death with Marineford. Ace was incredibly moved to see everyone risking their lives for him. Mahawk unexpectedly stepped forward, surprising everyone. Doflamingo taunted him, someone who always likes to stay out of fights like Mahawk wants to go first. Huh? He replied, I just want to see the power gap between them and that man. Then he drew his black blade Yuru, drawing everyone's attention. When Smoker seemed curious about Mahawk's weapon, Toshigi explained it's one of the 12 strongest swords in the world and can only be wielded by the strongest swordsman in the world, creating an extremely terrifying power with every swing. True to Toshigi's words, just a gentle swing of his sword created an extremely powerful energy slash directed at Whitebeard's position. Just as Mahawk's flying slash was about to hit Whitebeard, Jozu, the commander of the 3rd division of the crew, stepped forward to block it, surprising everyone, but they were even more surprised when he managed to send the strongest swordsman's attack flying into the air. That was thanks to the power of the Kira Kira no Mi, which allows him to turn a part or all of his body into diamond. Whenever he's short on cash, Jozu just needs to cut off his fingernails and sell them, haha. Taking advantage of the Marines' attention on Jozu, the pirates immediately launched a fierce assault, catching them off guard and making them scramble for their clothes. The battle raged on, making Ace confused. Sengoku, seeing that the pirates were only focusing on the center, ordered the artillery on both sides to attack the remaining pirate ships offshore and to focus their firepower on anyone running fast towards them. They immediately complied. Admiral Kizaru, in his usual slow drawl, said the Whitebeard pirate commanders really are monsters. At this rate, Marine casualties will just keep increasing. That's why Kizaru decided to target Whitebeard. He moved at the speed of light, approaching the strongest man in the world, then unleashed his Yasukani sacred jewel, continuously firing light bullets at Whitebeard. But Marco wouldn't let Kizaru have his way, flying up to block all the damage from that attack, astonishing Kizaru and the Marines that he could do such a thing. Marco told Kizaru, I won't let you touch the king so easily, which made Kizaru feign fear. He said, so the devil fruit Marco ate is even rarer than a Logia? It's a mythical zone. It not only gives him superior strength but also allows Marco to recover from any injury in an instant. That's the power of the Phoenix Devil Fruit. Marco suddenly transformed into a giant phoenix and flew towards Kizaru. Despite Kizaru continuously firing light bullets at him, Marco was completely unfazed by those attacks. Marco then approached Kizaru, to his surprise, and delivered a kick that sent Kizaru flying through a wall. Even so, Kizaru was completely unfazed after that attack. Jozu suddenly told his pirate allies to get out of the way. They immediately complied. Then he charged forward at incredible speed and unleashed a powerful punch onto the icy surface. It immediately cracked in an arc, astonishing the Marines there. Jozu yelled, try to stop this. Then he hurled that giant ice ball towards the execution platform, causing extreme panic among the Marines. While everyone was in chaos, Akainu calmly sat there observing. He said, those two really are something. If all 3 of them leave their positions, who will protect everyone? Then he used his giant magma fist to shatter the ice block, astonishing everyone. Not stopping there, his great eruption attack also created giant magma balls that fell onto the nearby pirates, causing heavy casualties for Whitebeard's side. One of the magma chunks unexpectedly landed on one of Whitebeard's 4 pirate ships, immediately destroying it. What was happening before their eyes made the people on Saboti feel like they were watching the end of the world. On this side, a giant magma ball accidentally headed towards Whitebeard's position, but he easily blocked it, and then even blew out the giant magma chunk with his mouth like blowing out a candle. Whitebeard jabbed at Akainu instead of spewing magma all over the place. Why doesn't he go home and light some birthday candles? Akainu retorted that he'd save it to light some incense for Whitebeard instead. The battle then raged on fiercely. The Marines continuously aimed cannons at Whitebeard's remaining 3 ships, but all were easily neutralized by the crew members. The commanders continuously used their overwhelming power to eliminate many Marines, but the Marines were no less effective, also eliminating many pirates. The entire battlefield at this point looked absolutely terrifying. Kobe, seeing that scene, was utterly terrified. When Kobe was saying, so this is war, huh? Helmeppo agreed. He said, if we keep staying on this battlefield, we're gonna die. How about we both just sneak out while no one's looking? This made Kobe confused. He knew what Helmeppo was saying was right, but Kobe still had his promise to become a Marine Admiral with Luffy. Helmeppo continued, that's exactly why Kobe needs to get out of here sooner. This made Kobe hesitate. While they were talking, something incredibly massive suddenly appeared in the sea, surprising everyone. It was a giant hundreds of meters tall with an incredibly huge body. The Marines frantically used heavy cannons aimed at him, but it was all just like mosquito bites on stainless steel. Oars Jr. retaliated with a gentle slash that blew up the giant cannon, making the pirate side ecstatic. Suru remarked, it's highly likely he's the descendant of an ancient giant named Kunihiki Oars. The Marines declared, we absolutely cannot let Oars Jr. land, otherwise the pirate side will have a huge advantage. Doflamingo and Gecko Moria were thrilled to see such a massive giant. As for Gecko Moria, he actually craved that body for himself. Oars Jr. said, Ace is a good guy. I definitely won't let him die. This deeply moved Ace. With his colossal size, Oars majestically advanced like a mountain. Hancock was surprised to learn that such a massive creature existed in the outside world. Meanwhile, Gecko Moria was beyond excited, envisioning using Oars' body to create the strongest zombie ever. At this moment, even the giant Marines couldn't sit still any longer. They charged at Oars to stop him. The Marine ships also continuously fired cannons at Oars, but all were useless. Ace told him to stop, because with his huge body, Oars was nothing but a target practice dummy for the Marines. But he said, no matter what, I have to save Ace. Then, he used his terrifying strength to lift a marine ship and throw it towards the giant army, sending them flying through walls, creating a blood path that allowed the pirates to enter the bay, causing everyone to cheer. Unable to withstand Orr's overwhelming power, the marine commanders were forced to order everyone to retreat inside to strengthen their defenses. The two factions continued to battle fiercely, and the number of dead and wounded on both sides at this point was beyond counting. Kobe, seeing that scene, was utterly terrified, his legs trembling. When Helmeppo was saying they need to escape from here, a pirate suddenly attacked Kobe, catching him off guard and making him scramble for his clothes. Fortunately, Vice Admiral Yukimura saved him just in time, allowing Kobe to keep his life. He suddenly asked Kobe, "What are you doing here?" which confused Kobe. Yukimura emphasized a battlefield is where everyone stakes their lives. There's no place for those who aren't ready. Kobe froze. After he left, Kobe cried and blamed himself for being so useless. On this side, oars still strode forward, unstoppable. The marine giant said cautiously this is the first time they've had to look up at someone like this. Oars once again asserted I must save Ace no matter what. But the marine giant said they won't let Oars have his way. Then they charged at him, but all were easily defeated by Oars' overwhelming strength. Whitebeard told him not to act recklessly, but Oars said I just want to save Ace as soon as possible, which left Whitebeard speechless. Whitebeard reluctantly told the other pirates to provide cover for Oars, and they immediately complied. The remaining marine giants tried to stop Oars but were all easily defeated. When this blonde giantess saw her superior, Vice Admiral LaCroix, defeated by Oars, she angrily charged at him but was also sent flying by Oars' punch. The pirates accompanying Oars said while he's distracting Hancock, they'll attack her, but all were easily neutralized by Hancock's slave arrow ability. Not stopping there, these arrows also instantly petrified many pirates. They exclaimed in surprise, so Hancock is the pirate empress everyone talks about. She unexpectedly charged forward, using her perfume femur kick to partially petrify many pirates. Hancock continuously delivered powerful kicks, petrifying many pirates and marines there, then performed a few somersaults before returning to Salome's back. Those marines were utterly enraged and asked Hancock, "Why are you attacking your own people too?" Hancock calmly replied, "I agreed to fight the Whitebeard Pirates, but I never said I'd side with the marines." Hancock emphasized all men in this world are rotten, except for one, implying Luffy. She asked them to forgive her beauty, which made the others furious but also moved by Hancock's stunning looks. The giant army on this side couldn't stop Oars at all were severely wounded. When Oars approached where the 7 warlords were guarding, Kuma unexpectedly stepped forward, then used the power of his paw fruit to create a giant air bubble from his 2 hands. He slowly compressed the giant air bubble, making it smaller and smaller until it was only the size of a human hand. Then launched it towards Oars. At first glance, everyone thought Kuma's Ursus shock was just a harmless transparent bubble, but when it hit Oars and caused a terrifying explosion, they finally saw the power of this technique. It immediately blew away everything in a huge radius. Oars also seemed about to collapse after taking the full force of that attack, which made Ace's heart ache. He told Oars, "Stop, don't throw yourself into certain death for me," which made him ponder. Oars suddenly looked at the straw hat, which made him remember the old days. Ace asked Oars, "Aren't you hot being so close to the sun?" Oars, after a moment of thought, said, "Of course, it's super hot." Ace said, "Then I'll make this for you," which confused Oars. Ace then made a giant straw hat and gave it to Oars. Surprising him, Ace said, "I learned how to make this in Wano country." Ace hopes Oars will like it. Oars' crewmates laughed and said that Ace had messed up 2 of them before finishing the one Oars was wearing because Ace's body was all fire. After Oars put on the straw hat, he felt incredibly cool and comfortable. He really liked the hat, which made Ace happy too. Oars then tried wearing that hat regardless of sun, rain, or snow. No matter the weather, he was fine. Oars was extremely pleased with the hat Ace made for him. Back to reality, he still tried to take heavy steps towards Ace, but the giant cannons wouldn't let Oars do that. They continuously fired at him, making Oars stumble and nearly fall. But he thought to himself, at least I have to take one warlord down with me. So he aimed for Doflamingo and unleashed a powerful punch at him, which seemed to shatter the wall. The only thing was, Doflamingo was completely unfazed after that attack and then flashed an evil grin. Doflamingo asked Oars, "Don't you feel anything?" Then he activated his string fruit ability, sending one of Oars' legs flying into the air, to the astonishment of Ace and everyone else present. Even so, he still tried his best to reach Ace, but Gecko Moria didn't let Oars fulfill his wish, piercing him with a Shadow's Asgard spear, which left Ace utterly stunned. This part ends here. If you found it good, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to Anime Recaps 95 channel, and comment to let me know. See you all in the next videos.